So, dear students, today we are going to start next topic of chapter 1 of economics, how to compare different countries or states. I hope you remember what we discussed in the last video. If you not, I just recall. In the last video, we discussed about what development means. Development means increase in the income level of the people and the living standard raises. It simply means development means growth, and their growth is all round. It increases it increases the per capita income. It increases your choices. It increases your consumption, etc. Then we discuss about what a development promises. Different people, different goals, and these goals are not only different but also contradictory, even sometimes destructive. We discussed the example of the dam, which may be welcomed by the industrialist but may not be by the tribal people, as it will inundate or submerge their land and their total life will be disrupted. Then in third topic we discussed about income and other goals. Apart from income, people need equal treatment, freedom, security, respect of others, time for the family, and etc. Last topic we discussed about national development, and as we had different notions about personal development, same is with the national development. People might be thinking in different ways about their national income. If even the idea of what constitutes development can be varied and conflicting, then certainly there can be differences about the ways of developing. If you know of any such controversy, try to find out arguments advanced by the different people, and you may do so by talking to the different persons, or you may find it from newspapers as well as from television, etc. So you can discuss with your surrounding people surround in your home or in your family during this lockdown period, what a development means to them about their nation. Okay, now let's come to the next point, how to compare different countries or states. Dear students, the question might strike in your mind, if development can mean different things, how come some countries are generally called developed and other underdeveloped or developing? And before we come to this, let us consider another question. Actually, when we compare different things, they could have similarities as well as differences. On the basis of these similarities and differences, we come to conclusion. For example, if you need to make comparisons between the students of different students of a class, undoubtedly you will have to make comparisons between the students on different bases. For example, they might be different in their height, their health, their talents and interest. The student who is the tallest one may not be good at volleyball, but the smallest one might be very good at volleyball. The child who is healthiest may not be most studious, and the child who is most studious may not be a good player. The child who is most studious may not be a good singer. A good singer may not be good at studies. So, whenever you have to make a comparison, you definitely need to choose on which basis you want to make a comparison. The basis for comparison is a must. For example, if you need to choose a good football team, undoubtedly you will have to go for the students who are more agile and have control on their body, and at the same time they are skillful with good stamina. A child who is very studious may not be part of a football team. So, as we need football team, as we need to have different criterias or different criterions to choose a football team, in the same way, if you need to select a debate team, the qualities of the participants or the member of the team undoubtedly will be different from the footballers. So now I hope it is clear in your mind that whenever you make a comparison, you always make a comparison between the similarities and differences. Usually we take one or more important characteristics of persons and compare them based on these characteristics. Of course, there can be differences about what are the important characteristics and what should form the basis of the comparison. Should it be height or friendliness or studiousness or spirit of cooperation or creativity or marks secured? What could be the basis for the comparison that need to be decided with the discussion with the teachers or your fellow students? So this is true to development too. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes, as it is assumed countries with higher income are more developed than others which have comparatively less income. So here income is considered as most important criterion or attribute when we make comparison between different countries. This is definitely because people usually think, and we also know, more income means more of all things that human beings need, be it food, shelter or clothes. So normally with greater income, people are considered to be more developed. Now, what is the income of a country? Undoubtedly, what is total income of the country, or what is income of the country? Normally, income of the country is simply income of the all residents of the country. All residents of the country. So total income of the country is the most important characteristic while making comparison. But now here the question arises: the countries in the world are not of the same size. Different countries have different size, different population. Undoubtedly, in the countries where number of people are more, might be more income, and a country where population is very less, undoubtedly that country will be having comparatively less income. So this may not be suitable to make a comparison which country is developed or which is not developed or underdeveloped. Undoubtedly, we have to find a solution, and that solution lies in average income. Average income, which is also known as per capita income or PCI, per capita income. So per capita income simply means total income of the country divided by the total residents or the total population is equal to PCI. This is the criterion which is used to make comparisons. So on the basis of per capita income, as per the World Development Reports, it is in World Development Reports, it is brought out by the World Bank. A country with per capita income as per US dollars 12,616. Dear students, here keep in mind per capita income which is to be used over here should belong to the data of 2011 census. Usually 2011 census data will be used for any study. In different books this data might be different, but keep in mind, whenever we have to refer, we have to give reference of 2011-12 data. Okay. So the countries where per capita income was more than 12,616 US dollar, they were called rich countries or developed countries. On the other hand, the countries where per capita income was less than $1035, they were considered poor countries or underdeveloped countries. Now, where does India lie in this table? India lies in the areas of low middle income countries, low middle income countries, because here per capita income is only 1530 per head. So India lies in the areas of low middle income countries. Here, so usually the countries which are rich, they are considered as developed, except a few countries like Middle East. Or certain small countries. Because for comparison, we can think of income to be used as one important characteristics, but overall development doesn't mean that you have more per capita income, or per capita income is not the only criterion to declare a country developed or underdeveloped. For example, and one example is quoted in your book also. Let me have the book. Yes, see, this is your 10th class book. I hope you have. If you don't have, you can download it. I have shared PDF of the book in the group. See over here, average income. Here, monthly income of the citizens in the year 2012 of different countries are shown over here. Country 1, country 2, or country A and country B. It is month 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. You see over here, in country A, per capita income is 9,500, 10,500, 9,800, 10,000 and 10,200. And in country B, 500, 500, 500, 500 and 48,000. And the average in both the countries are the same, that is 10,000. So dear students, I hope you understand that total income cannot be considered as a characteristic for declaring any country developed or underdeveloped. Rather, it is per capita income. Here in this table, country A is far better than country B, though the average income is the same, but here the distribution of income amongst the different citizens of the nation are comparatively better. See the second cartoon over here, country with no rich and no poor. Here we made the chairs and we used them, means 5 people contributed, they manufactured 4 chairs and they are consuming it, they are using it. But on the other hand, the country where rich and poor people live, as you find in country B, there are 6 chairs, means resources are more, but out of the total resources, major part of the resources is consumed by the lesser number of people. So equal distribution of income is very important while making comparisons. So let us now, on the basis of income and other criteria, let us move towards the second part, that is income and other criteria. Okay, I think video is getting too lengthy. This topic we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you.